She gripped the cold steering wheel with trembling hands, blinking away tears that kept threatening to escape. The city lights blurred outside the windshield as snowflakes drifted down lazily, mocking the storm inside her heart. Christmas Eve was supposed to be magical, full of warmth, family, and joy. But for Maria, it was just another night of endless work, exhaustion, and distance from the only family she had left, her little daughter, Emily. She whispered a promise to herself, a promise she repeated every day, just one more shift, just one more fare, and I'll go home to her. Yet, every night, the hours stretched longer, and hope slipped further away. Tonight felt like one more breaking point. Warning: if you believe kindness and second chances can change lives, please like this video, comment your thoughts, share this story, and subscribe to Kindness Thread. Your support helps us spread hope and humanity. Red Heart. Maria had never imagined this life. Just 2 years ago, she was wrapping gifts with her husband and laughing as Emily danced around their small living room. But fate was cruel and sudden. A car accident stole her husband away, the love of her life, the man who had always promised her that tomorrow would be easier. Since then, every tomorrow had become a battle. Bills piled up. Rent increased. And the dreams she once held close now felt like fog, always just out of reach. She worked as a taxi driver because it was the only job she could get that paid fast. She worked nights because the fares were better. But working nights meant leaving Emily with her elderly neighbor, Mrs. Thompson, while she roamed the city streets desperate for enough customers to keep their world from collapsing. Tonight, she wore a thick gray coat and an old scarf that still faintly smelled of her husband's cologne, a memory wrapped around her neck. Her body ached. Her heart ached more. She checked the dashboard clock, 7:40 p.m. If she could finish one more long ride, she might reach home in time to tuck her daughter into bed and tell her Santa was on his way. When a well-dressed man flagged her down near a luxurious hotel, Maria's first thought was relief. He looked wealthy. Maybe he would tip well. Maybe tonight wouldn't end in heartbreak. The man slid into the back seat, his suit perfectly pressed, his watch glimmering, the kind of person whose life seemed untouched by struggle. His eyes were tired though, and loneliness shadowed his handsome face. His name was Ethan, but Maria didn't know that yet. She only knew this fare could decide whether her daughter smiled tonight or cried. As she drove, Maria tried her best to stay professional, but exhaustion betrayed her. Her breath hitched, and a single tear slipped down. She quickly brushed it away, hoping he hadn't noticed. But Ethan did. He glanced toward the front seat and saw a small framed picture, a little girl with bright blue eyes blowing a kiss toward the camera. Innocent. Beautiful. And clearly missing something, or someone. He found himself curious, but he didn't speak. He wasn't used to sharing feelings. His life revolved around numbers, deals, and silence. Maria's stomach twisted, she had barely eaten. She thought of Emily waiting for her with a small handmade card she had drawn that morning. "Merry Christmas, Mommy, please come home early." The thought almost broke her. The roads grew quieter as they drove through wealthier neighborhoods decorated with dazzling Christmas lights, shimmering like dreams she could never afford. Finally, Ethan spoke softly, asking why she was working on Christmas Eve instead of being with family. Maria tried to hide the pain, but her voice cracked as she told him she was all her daughter had left. She explained how she wished she could be home, but every hour mattered. Every fare meant food, heat, life. She confessed she just wanted to give her daughter a Christmas that didn't feel so empty. Her emotion spilled like an overflowing dam, and she apologized for sharing too much. But Ethan sat silently, his expression shifting from curiosity to concern, to guilt. He had more money than he knew what to do with, yet he spent every holiday alone in penthouse silence. He had everything, except love. When they reached his destination, a massive private estate, Maria felt her heart sink. She thought of the warm fireplace inside, the perfectly decorated tree, the gifts wrapped in shiny ribbons. She thought of Emily's cheap paper snowflakes taped to a tiny potted plant they called a tree. She forced a smile and told him the fare. But Ethan didn't respond. Instead, he asked whether Maria would mind waiting for a few minutes. Confused but too polite to argue, she nodded. He disappeared inside, leaving Maria alone with her racing thoughts. She prayed she would still make it home in time. She whispered a wish into the cold air, hoping Christmas miracles were real. Ethan returned minutes later, holding a large bag wrapped with a red ribbon and a small plush reindeer toy peeking from the top. He handed her a thick envelope and the gifts, saying it was just a little something for her daughter. Maria was stunned. She tried to refuse, but Ethan gently insisted. He then handed her a new address, home. Her confusion deepened until he smiled and revealed the truth. He wasn't just a businessman. He was the new CEO of a global tech company, one of the youngest millionaires in the country, and more importantly, someone who never forgot what loneliness felt like. Inside the envelope was enough money to pay months of rent, settle bills, and finally breathe. Maria broke into sobs, tears of relief, gratitude, and disbelief. Ethan's voice softened as he told her that kindness should never be repaid, only passed on. He told her she deserved to be with her daughter. He reminded her that sometimes life doesn't take everything, it pauses to give back something beautiful. Maria drove home with shaking hands and the biggest smile she had worn in years. Snow glistened like diamonds on the streets. Christmas lights shimmered brighter. Hope felt real again. Emily ran into her arms the moment she walked through the door, wearing mismatched pajamas and holding the card she made for her. The little girl squealed seeing the plush reindeer and hugged it tight, believing Santa had visited early. And in that tiny apartment filled with laughter and new warmth, Christmas finally felt alive again. Maria knew her husband was smiling somewhere. She whispered a thank you to the stars and silently wished Ethan a life filled with the love he had just restored in hers. Red Heart, if this story touched your heart or reminded you that kindness still exists, please like this video, share it to inspire others, comment your feelings, and subscribe to Kindness Thread for more real stories of hope. As she had arrived. Adrian chased after her, but she was gone. Vanished into a world too big for her small frame. He returned to the restaurant, overwhelmed, shaking, unable to piece together what had happened. But when he looked at Elena, standing, crying, laughing through her tears, he stopped trying to understand the impossible. Some miracles didn't need explanations. Some miracles simply needed kindness. For days afterward, he sent people searching for the girl. No one found her. No one had even seen her enter the restaurant. It was as if she appeared only for that moment, for that purpose. Adrian eventually stopped searching, not because he gave up, but because he realized something profound. The miracle wasn't just that Elena could walk. The miracle was that hope had found its way back into their lives through the smallest, humblest hands. If this story touched your heart even the slightest, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to Kindness Thread. Your support helps spread stories of compassion and humanity. Before this story ends, tell me in the comments, do you believe miracles can come from unexpected places? And so, on a bright day filled with both sunlight and second chances, a hungry little girl walked into a millionaire's life, not asking for money, not asking for help, only asking for food. And in return, she gave the impossible.